Hello everyone, my name is Kostya and today I will be testing DeepSeek V4 Flash 0731. The model was literally released today. It still costs next to nothing and has a 1 million token context window. And today we'll see what it's capable of in wipe coding because the benchmarks say it's super impressive. Let's take a look at the benchmarks right away. And the benchmarks show us the following. Here we have a comparison with the previous Flash version, the Pro version, GLM 5.2 and Opus 4.8. In terms of parameters, it outperforms GLM 5.2 and falls just a bit short of Opus 4.8. So taking a closer look at these latest performance benchmarks, we fully expect DeepSeek Flash to deliver some truly remarkable and highly impressive results. Because wow, it is directly positioning itself against the likes of Opus 4.8 and boldly claims that it can actually outperform GLM 5.2, and GLM 5.2 is actually a pretty good neural network. Let me briefly go over what we'll be testing today, and we'll be testing low polygraphic characters. So we're interested in 3D. Next, we'll move on to more fully featured 3D. That is, it's an aquarium with fish, where we'll see how it draws the fish, how it handles the movement logic, and the environment inside the aquarium. Next, we'll create a landing page, see how it works with the web, and at the end, we'll make a game in 3D low poly graphics. It's the Google Dinosaur. Soon, I will completely change all the tests because for top models, they're no longer suitable. So if you have any ideas for tests, you can write about them in the comments. So, let's get started with the tests. We'll start with the character. I've already entered everything here. So we have DeepSeek V4 Flash at the highest level of reasoning, and I'm sending all of this off. As soon as it reads the entire prompt and creates the project for us and finishes creating it, we'll look at it together and discuss it. So the generation is complete. That was very fast. 48 seconds. Well, okay, 49. Let's take a look at the results. All right. Oh, by the way, for 48 seconds, that's actually not bad at all. So, let's see. Wow, it really did a lot here. Some kind of floating stones with crystals. Crystals are scattered all over here. So, the dress is completely unclear. There are some strange rings. But it did a pretty good job with the hands. I mean, they're actually holding the staff. The staff itself is also pretty decent. And it's already emitting some kind of particles here. I can see there are some minor issues here. Well, okay, the eyes are still fine. But the mouth ends up not actually on the head, just like the eyebrows. So they're kind of floating a bit, just like his hat and bald head. So he seems to have messed up the coordinates a bit here, although he even managed to add ears. It's all not bad, but it definitely needs some adjustments. Alright, let's see what this is. You can rotate him. And the magic cast. Oh, by the way, the magic casting animation is actually pretty good. Well, in my opinion, the character turned out quite well. That is, he's actually holding his staff in his hand, and even during the animation, it all looks, well, not bad for a model like this at this price. Let me remind you, it costs nothing at all. This is a fantastic result for a model like this. So this is a dirt cheap model that delivers a pretty decent option for generating this kind of mage. We ended up with a really good mage for a model like this. Now let's make an aquarium and see what it can do with an aquarium. So the aquarium was completed in 5 minutes and 33 seconds. Let's see what DeepSeek has done for us. Let's open it up, it's loading now. It seems the era of crazy fish has returned. What's wrong with them? I'm wondering. Are those things over there bright white or something? Are they supposed to be white? I don't think so. Now let's look at the environment. Wow, it really threw in a lot of rocks here. They're even sticking out beyond the aquarium. So what else do we have here? Water. No complaints about the water. The bubbles are okay, the grass is okay. There are too many rocks, it seems. As for the fish themselves, oh, they sure move chaotically. Well, actually, they're moving correctly. Well, more or less correctly, let's put it that way. I mean, they're trying to swim in a wave-like motion, but why do they move downward when going in reverse? That's a question. They swim sideways, not head first. They move in all sorts of ways, very chaotically. That movement right there was unclear. What else do we have in the water? Some kind of particles are floating around. No, this really does look a lot like fish. They're just a bit strange compared to all the other generations I've seen before. Although they do have eyes, a mouth, and even fins. By the way, there's something wrong with their right fin. Their left fin is normal, but with the right one, it's like they're raising their hand, greeting the sun. Alright. Fin up, as if they're swimming like Superman. It's unclear. And they have some kind of movements too. Well, what is that weird movement? And they swim upwards in a strange way. In general, there are some questions about their movement. There are also questions about how the rocks come out of the aquarium. Other than that, well, the quality of the fish is much worse than with the other neural networks that generated before it. Yes, it generates quickly, but in terms of quality, it's, well, about a C grade. It still needs more work. That is, the movement logic needs to be reworked, the color of the fish and the fins aren't good enough. These rocks need to be fixed, and then it will be a more or less decent aquarium. But on the other hand, here it did something like lighting, a lamp shining into the aquarium. By the way, where are the shadows? I don't see any shadows under the fish. I see some reflections, but I don't see any shadows under the fish. Yeah, there are no shadows. There are distortions from the glass. Like this. That's cool. But no shadows, that's not good. Overall, this is an okay result for this kind of neural network. That is, let me remind you, it's very cheap and there's the possibility to keep improving it, and improving it. It will cost very little. And we continue our tests. Next up, we have a landing page. Let's see how it handles web and design. Maybe there it will show itself better than with the aquarium because the Mac turned out pretty good even though it had some flaws. The aquarium also turned out not bad, but with some flaws. Overall, for this price, these are still good results. So the generation is complete. Unfortunately, it didn't show the time it took to do all this, but it felt like it was quite a long time. I've already launched a local server, so we can take a look at this landing page. And here's what we got. So we have this classic little flashlight. Next, it created this kind of slide with places in Vietnam. So Hanoi, Ha Long, Hoi An, Da Nang, Ho Chi Minh, Sapa. As I understand it, the images were placed pretty randomly because not everything matches up here. For example, Ho Chi Minh. Well, what is this strange picture? Other than that, he ended up with a pretty simple landing page. And what I liked here is that this lantern doesn't interfere with viewing the content at all. I mean, it's there somewhere, but it doesn't get in the way of viewing the content at all. Oh, and at the end, it even disappears completely so we can fill out the forms. Oh, it's the first time I've seen a date field you can fill in. That's cool. Alright. In my opinion, the landing page turned out to be quite simple but effective. I mean, it's even better than Quen's. Let's see how it looks in terms of responsiveness. Everything's fine with the responsiveness. Even the burger menu works. And by the way, the lantern is still there. A pretty decent result for such a small model. And the final test is a low poly style game, our Google Chrome Dinosaur. So I'm sending it the prompt, this file right here. It's going to read it now and create the game. As soon as it's done, we'll take a look at it. So the game was made super quickly, literally in 3 minutes. I don't know what the result will be, but okay, let's take a look. So first of all, I see the little dinosaur. It's not very detailed, by the way, but for 3 minutes it's fine. I see the environment. These are mountains apparently, and these are clouds. We even have birds flying around. Let's see how the game itself plays. Well, so far everything seems okay. And what's this river? Oh, that's not the river, it's basically a transition from one texture to another. How should I put it? There are seamless transitions, and this one has seams. So this is a texture seam. Got it. Well, overall, it's at least playable. Of course, it all looks very cartoonish, but that's DeepSeek's vision of a dinosaur. Although, for example, the camera is positioned quite correctly, because in Google's dinosaur game, the view is also from the side. Alright, the dinosaur's speed is increasing. Instead of cacti as obstacles, we have some kind of stumps. Rocks, stumps. Well, overall, let's try to trip over something. Okay. Overall, it's playable. So overall, I'm repeating myself, but just look at how much it costs. What complaints could you possibly have about it? If it managed to make a game at all, that's already great. Yeah, it's not quite on the level of Opus, it's not on the level of GLM. It's a little bit worse, although not by much. Overall, the model handled the dinosaur game quite well. I mean, it even added some of its own unique and unexpected quirks, like little birds flying around. And instead of the usual cacti, the character now runs along a winding path filled with jagged rocks, weathered tree stumps, and various small stones scattered about. In my personal opinion, DeepSeek truly demonstrates that it has plenty of genuine creativity and a surprising amount of flair in this particular regard. I suggest we go over everything again and see what we did today. So this is the mage we ended up with. This is what his face looks like. There are a few flaws, but that's not a big deal. But just look at how he casts magic. In my opinion, it's pretty cool. So, what about the aquarium? Our aquarium turned out looking like an aquarium, but the fish aren't of the best quality, though they still resemble fish. They move around, they swim, their movements are a bit odd, but that's not a big deal. It can all be fixed. There are bubbles, there are rocks, there are a lot of rocks, and the rocks are arranged in a very strange way. Landing page. Well, a landing page is a landing page. To get a high quality landing page, you need to build up a lot of skills. Next, here's what our little dinosaur turned out like. So, DeepSeek in terms of price to quality, it costs little, and its quality is, well, not super impressive, but in my opinion, it's definitely usable. Well, let's draw some conclusions about DeepSeek. DeepSeek as a model has grown, and this is still the Flash version, so it works quite fast. Well, to be honest, I wouldn't really use it as my primary large language model. Instead, I would definitely pair it with something else, like GPT-4, for example. In this setup, GPT would write the overall plan and the main logic, while DeepSeek, for instance, would be responsible for handling some of the minor edits or implementing smaller features throughout the process. I would trust it with that, but to use it non-stop, well, I don't know. That's not really the best solution. Although it costs, well, very little, it's basically just pennies. So share your opinion about DeepSeek in the comments. What do you think about it? Maybe you liked it and want to use it as your main tool, or maybe you've already tried using it in your projects. In any case, leave your thoughts in the comments. Subscribe to the channel and also to the Telegram channel. See you soon. Bye.